You mentioned something there. You did say when you volunteered to deploy, which is a huge thing. What was the catalyst that made you decide to actually volunteer versus being told you're going to be deployed?
Well, the first time I volunteered, there's a recurring theme here, but I was serving as a state representative in Hawaii. I was campaigning for re-election. This was coming to the close of my first term in office. And my Hawaii National Guard Army unit was activated for deployment to Iraq. It would be an 18-month-long deployment, about a year of that spent actually in Iraq, the other months being spent training up and preparing for that deployment. It was the first deployment our unit had seen since Vietnam. And so when you think about, the ages and ranks of people who, filled our unit, maybe there was like one of the older uncles who had served in Vietnam, but by and large, no one had any combat experience. And when the unit was activated, my commander, I served in a medical unit, he called me up and he's like, "Hey, good news. You don't have to go because we already have someone filling the job that you're trained to do," which was essentially medical operations and logistics. And he said, "You can stay home, finish running for re-election, get reelected, continue doing the work that you're doing for Hawaii." And I just knew very quickly, and we went back and forth. I told him, there's no way I'm staying home and watching you guys go and ship off to the other side of the world to a war that at that time was 2004, going into 2005, was still very much the height of that war in Iraq that was billed as Operation Iraqi Freedom. And so we went back and forth. He realized I wouldn't take no for an answer. I suspended my re-election campaign to the State House, one where there wasn't any real opposition, and then went and got trained in a different job that they needed filling and went out on that deployment. It changed my life.
I can't even imagine. I mean, did you have a sense of, obviously the sense of duty and loyalty to your division?
Yes.
But did you not have any fear and anxiety about putting yourself in that kind of harm's way?
No. And I don't say that in a way that should be misconstrued to make people think I took it lightly. I did not take it lightly at all. But I volunteered to serve my country and enlisted by choice, specifically for this purpose. And I chose the National Guard so that I could serve my community in my home state during times of natural disaster, but if called, to serve my country and to go after those who attacked us on that tragic day on 9/11. And so the feelings I felt were not fear and anxiety. There was definitely a sense of soberness and gravity about what we were about to do. Like I said, no one had any recent experience in any combat environment. Going into a situation where you're dealing with an insurgent Islamist terrorist group that was really the one causing the casualties in the war. Yes, we trained a lot. We trained for months for this. But if anyone said, "I know exactly what it's going to be like, I know exactly what's going to happen," they would have been wrong. They were still rewriting and editing and getting feedback from units that were deploying to improve the training manuals and training scenarios that we were going through. So it was a quickly evolving situation. And the real powerful thing that I don't think I fully anticipated until just before I left was just being confronted with the fact that my saying goodbye to my family could very well be my final goodbye. And I didn't gloss over that at all. I took the time to sit down and write letters to my family and express to them the things that I didn't want to left go unsaid if my time came and I didn't make that trip home.